Well, let me start this off and tell you about my ex-wife, the one that lives around the corner from me. I'm living by myself now because I live by rules and regulations of God. Well, I'm gonna show you something. They ran me out of Pine Bluff. I went down Tampa, Florida, and went through the vision that God gave me. Came back, and Blackwater, all them people still following me, trying to watch me see what I say. I see a lot of ministers using some of the work that God gave me, and they telling the people, but they turning it, some seem like what, in their own terms. It's not my responsibility to guide his lips and to guide his hand. God told me to deliver to him. He twists the way he wants. That's on him. So I know one thing, I got to write a book, but the people that are out there listening at this here, it's up to them to take on this and try to contact me or talk to me in a positive way. Because I'm not going to stop. And I'm going to keep on going. Well, I'm going to show you. We have to be careful of what we do and what we say. Because the same seed that you cast out there to consume somebody else, it'll come back and consume you. When I left from home, I didn't have no more than, and when I got out and got to live it on my own, I was lazy about buying stuff, and one part I found myself had and two or three pair of pants. So I had to go to Goodwill and buy me some pants at Goodwill, the cheap pants that I give to Goodwill now. I had to buy these things in order to have clothes, and if you didn't buy them there, you couldn't go in no place with your clothes torn all in the sea. But I found some clothes, and I said I got to find one thing, and I got to buy these things because I didn't care what I wore. I was a man contented with some shoes on my feet and clothes on my back. I was not never a materialistic person. But after I go through my life and I realized this, when I didn't have nothing, didn't nobody come and try to give me nothing, nobody wanted to be my friend. But as I began to become prosperous and get to thinking about myself more, began to think about what I'm gonna do for a family, I began to build up for my family and myself so I have decent clothes to go out and meet the public because you got to go meet the public with a family because your family gonna drive you into this here. Well, as I began to go a little bit further and further in advance, have a little money in my pocket, then the predators, the parasites, the lion, the wolves, and all of these bloodsuckers began to notice me. At first they did. And what they did, they sit up there and they watched me and said, well, hey, this man is fattening up around the face. And he's not bones, for we couldn't get no meat on him, just add this. He's something new to be considered. So, what they do? They create friction between you and your family, especially if this is a moment that you've been looking for. They'll create friction where you and her could not get along at any price or any cost. This is where I'm going with this here, because this is what's happening in the Middle East, in the land of Abraham. As long as there was no necessity for war, they went in and fought their battles and went out because the weapons of destruction they used, not mass destruction, didn't require a fear. But as they went into their laboratories and went into technology and began to enhance their image to the world, the United States of America, Great Britain, all of these nations they call the United Nations, they demanded for oil begin to grow as they expand their knowledge through the way of technology. Taking of the fruit of knowledge, good and evil, which God commanded them not to do. They demanded to begin to grow. So were these predators, parasites, leeches, bloodsuckers that were around me when I was doing bad and didn't have nothing that to excite them. There was no reason they had to chase me because I didn't have nothing they want. I couldn't give them nothing. I couldn't buy them nothing, couldn't sell them nothing because it's hard enough keeping food on my table. But once I became prosperous to my injuries, I gained a respect through the judgeship of this world, of the United States of America. And they had placed a stipulation on them that if you hurt anybody that worked for you unwillingly, then you got to pay him for the injuries. Well, this, as people saw, as a blessing to me, but it became my very curse. It became the same as the right arm or the left arm offending me. It became as the right eye and the left eye offending me. And by me being afraid of death or being afraid of dying, I let this become my addiction. And as it became my addiction, it invited the predators, the parasites, the leeches, the bloodsuckers to come in at any means, any cost, and try to devour me because what I had inherited because of my injuries. Well, they created friction between me and my wife. I done told this story. Made her think that she was looking better than what she did. Same thing the serpent told Adam and Eve. Told Adam, oh, you good, you looking good. You need to go in and eat off that tree and eat off it fast. And she went and took off the tree and ate off it fast, and the eyes was open. She go get your husband somewhere, let him eat off it. He went and ate off. The whole earth is addicted to that same technology that you learn from the laboratories, from the schooling, creating caldron where you would break in people into pieces and make them suffer in a way where you can intimidate them because they is afraid of saying no, and they're afraid of dying. So this becomes their addiction. The people's whole credit card. You can not even want something. He comes to your house and sell you something. And you suffer your lifetime trying to pay back that which he done talked you into, and you have been victimized because you're afraid to say no, and you're afraid of death. They will tie you up with the debt of paying for houses. No, you're not going to be able to pay for the house. At the end of the day, you pay, and at the end of the day, when you get old, you're going to still owe for that house. They going to do this. Because they're going to use afraid to say no, they're going to impose something, say you need to fix this, you need to do this, you need to upgrade this house. Let me tell you this. They used my wife to go at me, to try to take and destroy me just because I got injured at railroad, and they were looking for some money. They were looking for her to tear me down, and she take her one part, they take the other part. I would believe left without nothing. They would get me hooked on cocaine and all this, and I couldn't be able to get rid of the right arm, neither the left arm, because I'm addicted to both arms. I couldn't pluck my eyes out, one the right eye, a left eye, because I'm addicted to those eyes. I love them eyes. These eyes are not the thing that we see. It is the thing that we do and that we have for us, among us, as our livelihood. But they victimize us because while we asleep,